just united front was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just, we had a very...
that really needed to be mentioned.
That was ridiculous. That was childish, and Sabrina had to let it be known. I don't really think that was necessary. She trying to laugh it off, but Sabrina's not feeling you saying that.
Now, Sabrina Ionescu quickly, swiftly, and in a hurry, kind of tried to stop Kelsey Plum from taking these little shots, but she didn't care.
Kelsey Plum strikes again.
The WNBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis was meant to be a celebration, a moment of unity, a spotlight on the league's brightest stars, lighting up the court with joy and pride. But what was supposed to be a feel-good event quickly unraveled into one of the most explosive controversies of the 2025 season. A spark meant to ignite awareness about fair pay turned into a wildfire of shade, subtle digs, and viral Instagram clapbacks that split fans, players, and even the media right down the middle. Suddenly, everyone was asking the same burning question. Was this really about collective bargaining, or was it personal?
Sabrina Ionescu did not like this, by the way.
And you can just see, even with the way Sabrina Ionescu's reacting, she's like, what did you just say?
Then came Saturday night's All-Star Game, a high-octane spectacle that saw Team Collier steamroll past Team Clark, 151 to 131, with fans roaring at every play. Kelsey Plum.
And right in front of Sabrina Ionescu, right there, right next to her, you have no shame. This woman's just trashy, dog. Like, Kelsey Plum is trashy, bro. That's the reason why Darren Waller left her. Smart man, by the way, because his salary was pretty nice when he signed.
From the Los Angeles Sparks delivered where it counted. 16 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. But ironically, it wasn't her performance that stole the headlines. No, the real drama didn't unfold on the hardwood. It detonated in the post-game press conference, where one unexpected moment flipped the narrative and set the entire WNBA world ablaze. And that's where it all changed. Before the storm hit...
We need media training, bro. Like, I hate to see. Y'all really, really need media training. This was so unnecessary. And then you gonna take shots after that trash game y'all displayed?
And let's rewind and understand the tension bubbling beneath the surface. Right now, the WNBA is at a tipping point, with its collective bargaining agreement set to expire after the 2025 season. Players are demanding more than just respect. They want real change, fairer pay, better conditions, and a rightful share of the booming revenue they've helped generate. And that boom, it's no coincidence. The league has never seen a surge like this, fueled by breakout stars like Caitlin Clark, whose rookie season shattered TV ratings and packed arenas coast to coast. With all eyes on the game, players believe it's finally time their paychecks match their impact. That backdrop matters because it sets the tone for what happened next. Early Saturday morning, before the All-Star festivities began, players gathered not just for breakfast, but for a pivotal moment of solidarity. Behind closed doors, they discussed their strategy for the ongoing negotiations.
The shirts read, "Pay us what you owe us." And of course, everybody clowned that.
You said you wanted to look united, right? You wanted to make it look like y'all all were on one accord. You wanted to make it look like the advocacy was there between you all. And you come out and say 0 members of Team Caitlin Clark was there.
And what emerged was a unified stand. When the players hit the court, they weren't just athletes. They were a movement, clad in matching black warm-up shirts, boldly declaring, "Pay us what you owe us." It was a message impossible to ignore. One that wasn't just aimed at the league or the owners, but at the millions watching, waiting, wondering, what comes next?
Was there. How do you think that make y'all look now?
She joined you guys to stand as a one united front, and then you go and take shots at her when she's responsible for more than 55% of the business? Are you crazy? Have you lost your damn...
The moment those black shirts hit the court, the energy inside the arena shifted. It wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a battle cry. As players warmed up, the crowd erupted with spontaneous chants of "Pay the players," echoing through the arena like a drumbeat of solidarity. Even the players seemed caught off guard by the roar of support. A powerful reminder of just how deeply their fight resonates with fans. This wasn't about a few stars asking for bigger contracts. This was a rallying cry for justice across an entire league of elite athletes who've long been undervalued despite their unmatched talent and the show-stopping entertainment they deliver night after night. But just as the message was reaching its peak, the story took a sharp turn. In the post-game press conference, Kelsey Plum was asked a simple question.
Your league doesn't make a profit. And the only hopes of it making a profit is that lady right there on my screen.
Y'all only got close to the green for the first time ever because of Caitlin Clark's there.
You tried to get them more money last year behind the scenes. They still didn't like you. You came out and spoke out for black women and black women athletes, especially black women basketball players. They still don't like it. Don't matter what you do. The peers of the WNBA do not mess with you. It just is what it is.
How did the idea for the shirts come together? It should have been her chance to highlight unity, to double down on the movement's strength. Instead, with cameras rolling and Sabrina Ionescu sitting inches away, Plum veered off script. She started by calling it a united front, born out of that very morning's meeting. But then, with a casual chuckle that would echo far louder than she ever intended, she dropped a bombshell. Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. And just like that, the unity shattered. The comment hit the press room like a thunderclap, sudden, jarring, and impossible to ignore. In what was supposed to be a celebration of league-wide unity, Kelsey Plum had just turned the spotlight toward division, publicly singling out Caitlin Clark and her all-star teammates in a move that felt anything but accidental. The phrase, not to tattletale, wasn't just awkward, it was revealing. It signaled.
You know what? Caitlin Clark didn't have to do that. She didn't have to wear the shirt or anything, but she did it out of solidarity and good faith to help support the WNBA and the other players. What do? Discredit her and discredit.
That Plum knew exactly how her words would land and chose to say them anyway. That little chuckle? It didn't sound like nervousness. It sounded calculated, like a quiet shot fired in the middle of a moment meant for collective strength. But the tension didn't stop there. Sitting inches away, Sabrina Ionescu's reaction spoke volumes without saying a word. Her eyes rolled. Her posture stiffened. You could almost feel her discomfort pulsing through the screen. And when the question lingered, she didn't hold back. Not really needed to be mentioned, she said sharply, cutting through the awkward air with a tone that dripped with disapproval. Her body language made it even clearer. She wasn't on board with Plum's dig. In that split second, what began as a moment of solidarity unraveled into a subtle but powerful display of internal division, and the internet noticed. For Kelsey Plum, the optics couldn't have been worse. Here she was, at a podium meant to amplify player unity and collective strength. Yet her words painted a picture of fracture, singling out teammates, stirring doubts, and raising uncomfortable questions. Was this really about a missed meeting or something deeper? Was it a subtle expression of frustration from veterans feeling eclipsed by the meteoric rise of a new generation? Stars like Caitlin Clark, who brought in record crowds and media attention almost
They don't
overnight.
deserve more money.
Backlash came fast
They don't
and
get any
fierce.
ratings outside
Social
of Caitlin
media
Clark.
lit up like
They
wildfire
openly
with
disrespect her.
fans, former
They don't
players and
deserve
analysts
Caitlin
weighing
Clark.
in.
They don't
Many
deserve
slammed
attention.
Plum
They
for
don't deserve a
derailing what
league.
should have been a powerful, united front, turning it into a moment of personal shade. The timing couldn't have been worse. Why taint a historic stand for fair pay with avoidable drama? Especially when Caitlin Clark wasn't even playing in the All-Star game due to injury, yet still showed up, supported her peers, and embraced the spirit of the weekend. And then came the details that made Plum's dig seem even pettier. Reports confirmed that the meeting happened early Saturday morning, over breakfast. Some players on Team Clark may have had overlapping media duties, prior obligations, or weren't even fully briefed on the shirt plan. So was it really a snub or just a case of miscommunication? Either way, many saw the public call out not as leadership, but as a cheap shot, and one that left the league's message fractured just when it needed to be strongest.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, I want her to clap back so bad. She needs to clap back, man. Stop being nice. Stop doing people favors. Stop trying to help a sister out. Stop doing all that stuff, bro. These are some ungrateful hyenas.
Just when the drama seemed to hit its peak, Caitlin Clark responded. but not with a fiery press release or a dramatic tweet. No, she played it cool and sharp. Instead of fueling the fire with more words, Clark let subtlety do the heavy lifting. She headed to Instagram, where the real battles are often won, and dropped what fans are calling a masterclass in digital clapbacks. The target? A photo Kelsey Plum had posted, seemingly harmless.
Yes.
Part of me just does wish you would be like, look, man, I'm tired of y'all disrespecting. I'm tired of y'all hating and taking shots. Go figure this out on your own. Let me see y'all get a deal done without me, without my numbers, without my fans who y'all all claim was racist. Y'all called all of her fans racist, but you want to use the numbers supported by those same racist fans. You want to
notice the giant Nike logo sitting boldly in the background. Clark's reply? Just 6 words. Thanks for the Nike ad. And with that, the internet lost it. It was the kind of move that didn't just sting, it stunned. Clark, whose endorsement deal with Nike is one of the most high-profile in women's sports, had turned Plum's shade into a spotlight for her own brand, flipping the narrative with effortless precision. The comment was short, but surgical, media-savvy, witty, and devastating in its calm confidence. It wasn't just a response, it was a reminder. Clark wasn't here for petty drama, but she also wasn't going to let jabs go unchecked. In one sentence, she flipped the script and showed exactly why she's more than just a rising star. She's a force. The fallout from this exchange has been nothing short of explosive. Kelsey Plum's Instagram has turned into a battleground, with waves of Caitlin Clark fans flooding the comments, defending their icon and dragging Plum for what they see as an unnecessary, mean-spirited jab. The reaction has been so intense that even major media voices have
shot like this at the player that's the only reason you're in a position to ask for more money is crazy, and that's a fact.
Them relying so heavily on Caitlin Clark, one player, to generate their money, it's going to take some time, man, to get y'all those $200, $300 million contracts, bro. It just is. This isn't like a one and done thing that's going to take, you know what I'm saying, a year or two. Y'all got to show proven years of winning, and the way y'all attacking Caitlin Clark, beating her up.
The conversation, debating whether Plum's words were a harmless observation or a line-crossing personal dig. Sure, some argue she was just being candid about who showed up to the meeting, but that not to tattletale line, delivered with a smirk, made it hard to read as anything but calculated shade. And maybe that's what makes this controversy so compelling. It's not just about one comment. It's about the deeper tensions simmering beneath the WNBA surface. Caitlin Clark isn't just a talented rookie. She's a game changer. Her games are ratings magnets. Her jersey is flying off shelves. Her presence alone turned All-Star Weekend into a media spectacle. And for veterans who've been grinding in the shadows for years with far less love and far fewer endorsements, that kind of meteoric rise can stir up complicated emotions. Now, layer in the timing, right in the thick of CBA negotiations, and the stakes get even higher. The movement for fair pay is real, urgent, and justified.
Battering her. I don't know what the future even look like for y'all with viewership and entertainment.
Let's be serious here. Caitlin Clark is the one bringing in the numbers. We watched the ticket prices drop 50% when Caitlin Clark was announced that she will not be participating due to her.
But instead of headlines celebrating a unified front, the narrative has veered into petty infighting and internal drama. And that shift, it may have done more damage to the player's message than any league executive ever could. This whole incident shines a spotlight on the very different ways WNBA stars handle the spotlight and each other. Sabrina Ionescu's subtle eye roll and her calm, measured, not really needed to be mentioned response spoke volumes. It was the kind of poised leadership that recognizes when unity matters more than scoring points in a press room. Then there's Caitlin Clark, who didn't need a press conference to clap back. Her Instagram reply was sharp, strategic, and avoided fanning the flames, showing just how dialed in she is when it comes to playing the long game.
Due to her injury, the ticket prices dropped by 50% for an all-star game. That should tell y'all other players, you're not as popping as you think you are.
Perception. But zoom out, and this isn't just a spat between players. It's a revealing crack in a league that's growing faster than ever. The WNBA is in a breakout moment. Record viewership, sold-out arenas, cultural relevance at an all-time high. But with success comes growing pains. The veterans, the ones who laid the bricks for this empire, are now watching rookies like Clark soar to the top, and that can stir up tension, even in movements that should feel unified, like collective bargaining. And that's the real heartbreak here. What could have been a defining moment? A sea of players standing shoulder to shoulder in those bold, "pay us what you owe us" shirts, ended up drowned in headlines about drama and division. These athletes deserve better contracts, better treatment, and the spotlight for the right reasons. Instead, a moment built to amplify their power got blurred by personal noise, and the message got lost in the echo.
For those of you wondering who Caitlin Clark is dating, I did some research and found out who he is. With that being said, here's everything you need to know about Caitlin Clark's boyfriend. Right off the bat, his name is Connor McCaffrey. He played basketball at Iowa, and his father is Fran McCaffrey, the coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes basketball team. He was a 4-star basketball recruit coming out of high school, and in addition to playing basketball at Iowa, he was also on the baseball.
As the dust begins to settle after one of the most dramatic all-star weekends in recent WNBA history, a few truths have come sharply into focus. First, the generational divide within the league isn't just speculation. It's real, layered, and emotionally charged. Second, in today's game, the court isn't the only place where battles are won or lost. Social media has become a high-stakes arena where reputations are shaped in real time. And third, with the
As a senior on the basketball team, he averaged 6.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists while playing 30 minutes a game. He started in 22 baseball games in 2019, batting .238 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. And for those of you wondering, he is 6'6" and 215 pounds. Now that we know a little bit about him, let's talk a little bit more about them. He and Clark started dating in April.
league's explosive growth comes a new kind of pressure, navigating fame, influence, and internal dynamics in front of a global audience. But perhaps the most revealing part of this controversy isn't the drama itself. It's what it suggests about where the WNBA is headed. Can players transform personal tension into collective strength? Will veterans and rising stars find ways to coexist, lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down? And
of 2023, which must have been during or just after the Hawkeyes' run to the national championship where they lost to LSU. She first posted him to her Instagram in August of 2023, and the two have been going strong ever since. Connor is currently trying to become a basketball coach, and he's working for the Indiana Pacers, which is perfect because Caitlin Clark plays for the Indiana Fever, which is owned by the same guy who...
And as CBA negotiations press on, will this moment be a cautionary tale or a catalyst for deeper unity? One thing is certain, this weekend reshaped the narrative. Caitlin Clark walked away showing grace, confidence, and a masterful grasp of public optics. Sabrina Ionescu reminded everyone what quiet, steady leadership looks like in the eye of a storm. And Kelsey Plum, whether just being honest or caught in a misstep, now finds herself at the center of a conversation far bigger than one press conference. One that could echo throughout the league for years to come. The WNBA All-Star Game was meant to be a celebration, a tribute to the league's brightest talent and a unifying moment for women's basketball. But instead, it pulled back the curtain on a deeper truth, even in time.
The Pacers. And before you say, oh, he must have got the job because of Caitlin, no, he's been working for the Pacers long before the Fever even had the #1 pick. The two have only been dating for a little over a year, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if Caitlin Clark marries a 6'6", former 4-star basketball recruit who played college basketball and is from a family of basketball players and coaches, their kid is going to be a beast.
Times of solidarity, egos, rivalries, and generational friction can blur the bigger picture. What should have been a powerful display of unity became a case study in how easily personal dynamics can derail a collective message. And as the league continues to rise, gaining fans, media attention, and long overdue respect, learning to navigate these growing pains will be critical, because unity isn't just a slogan, it's a strategy. While the headlines may eventually fade, the core issues, respect, recognition, and the shifting balance of power aren't going anywhere. Whether this moment becomes a forgotten blip or a turning point will depend on what comes next. Will the players refocus, regroup, and move forward stronger? Or will this serve as a cautionary tale about how quickly momentum can be lost? Either way, the future of the WNBA will be shaped not just by talent on the court, but by the choices made off it.